What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Carlos Baerga Show on the Big Play Network, presented by FanDuel with me, Gab Gowdy, Cleveland Indians legend Carlos Baerga, and always positive Jay. Now, guys, it's always so much more fun to talk to you after a Cleveland Guardians win.
I miss you. I thought that you were gonna be here with us today.
I know.
She is in London. In London, she's gonna have fun. Next Sunday, she's gonna be in the Browns game. Yeah.
Yeah,
probably.
Sunday at the
I mean,
Browns
if
game,
there's a
Browns
game,
Vikings.
Gab's most likely at it. That's just how I assume.
Wow, but she would.
I mean, that's like the most out of all the Browns games. That's the one that I would.
See, we sent, you're with the Royals and stuff. We sent the Cleveland Princess to London, as we should.
Yes, she's gonna
represent for us.
the Carlos Baerga Show over there, and she's gonna do a great job. But you know what, PJ? Nice to see you, brother.
It's good to see you. Thanks for the tickets. I got to go with my nephew to the closeout game. The closeout game where they got the walk-off hit by pitch. That was the most guards ball thing I've ever seen. This ride has just been fantastic. The games are just drama-filled left and right. I got to be honest. I got to be more positive. I got to stick to the games because they make me a nervous wreck, Carlos. I go crazy during these games.
Everybody get nervous, brother. When you play games like this, you are tight game. You know, like the first one, 2-1. We was so close to win that game, but yesterday 1-1. Through the eight, our offense flowed in there. Gabby, I thought did you watch it in the private jet? Did you went to London?
Oh yeah, in our private plane we were watching it. Yeah,
it was an awesome time. But you know what? I had the opportunity to to watch the press conference of Stephen Buck. Let's see what he said.
It was an unbelievable debut. I thought everything about it was great. His at-bats were outstanding. He could have easily let that play in the first inning, rattle him, and take him out of the rest of the day. Tanner picked us up huge in that inning, getting the 3 punch-outs, but really impressed by Chase's at-bat quality, and then obviously the outfield play after the sun ball in the first. It was outstanding.
Is Cade going to be good to go tomorrow, or is he?
Yeah, we're gonna see how he's feeling. Obviously, Cade pitches a ton for us, but I'm sure he's going to be ready to go tomorrow. But we'll have to obviously check. We always check with our guys before.
We've seen a year, Stephen, but to make that decision so quickly to ask for a review on that play there at third base, just take us through that quick.
Gunnar does an outstanding job with our replay. I don't have any eyes on it. I have full trust in what Gunnar tells us. And he said, hey, challenge the play, and the run hadn't scored. So I wanted to make sure that I went out there just to tell the umpires, hey, that run did not score. Can you make sure they check on that? Great, like I said, great throw, great tag, and outstanding job by Gunnar. He's been great all year.
So you like 2 challenges?
No, it's just when you challenge the play, because, the call in the field was safe and 2 runs scored. You just want to make sure that they're going to take a look at where the runner was, and he had not touched home play yet.
You've asked you about Rocchio for weeks, months now. Just what does it say about him in that situation, being ready for that pitch?
Yeah, it's huge. I mean, it was an 0-2 count, I believe, and he's just ready to fire. And those last couple innings, it was not easy to see. And our guys jumped on Melton pretty well, and Bo with such an unbelievable at bat off Herter. And for us, it was a frustrating day offensively for us. With 2 hits leading into the 8th, and for our guys to explode like that and kind of get some separation felt really good.
You've got a unique perspective because you both played here and coached here. It seemed like latest in the game when the shadows got longest and it got harder and harder to see. You guys had your best offensive inning. Can you pull back a little bit the layer of like how hard it is actually to hit in those situations when the shadows are like that?
Yeah, when the shadows are like that, you can't see spin. So everything looks like a fastball coming in. And hopefully you see something at some point between the pitcher and where you are that tips you off what pitch is coming. But it is really difficult, and it's all nearly impossible to hit at that time. But our guys stepped up huge, and our guys never talk about the shadows. They never talk about whether you can see or not. And a lot of times that's what it takes. It takes just, hey, everyone on the planet knows it's hard to see right now. We don't need to talk about it. Just go out and compete.
Thoughts on Bibee's outing tonight?
Tanner was phenomenal. Obviously, we give him the extra base in the first, but he gets the 3 punch outs, and pitch count got up, but pitch count doesn't matter. As many outs as you can get, that's doing your job. And phenomenal by him unbelievable job by our bullpen. No matter who it was, Timmy Herron, player of the game, coming in and ending that threat like that.
You listen, it's hard to hit with that shadow in the middle, but our guys, they keep us in the game. And I say our pitching staff is being awesome. And I love what he say about Chase Lauder. He loves that bat that he have. And the first at bat, after you lost that ball, you're gonna be nervous. This guy, he throw a walk, and then he went there.
He started 0-2 too, didn't he?
Yeah,
And
he did.
Every at bat, it was really good. And you know what? I saw this guy 2 years ago in spring training, and this guy, his talent is unbelievable. He kills spring training but the thing he haven't been able to be healthy, and thanks God that he had the opportunity, to do it. And I was kind of nervous. I'm not gonna lie. I'm an honest person. When they put in the line, I said, "What are they doing?" I went crazy a little bit because I know what I don't lie. I say the truth all the time because the sun, the ballpark, the sky is different ballpark. This is not the minor league. This is the big leagues, and this is the player. It's been just 6 players. They come up to the big leagues and right away playing the playoff. It's not easy to do it, but he showed it yesterday that he got the talent to become that. I don't know if you see it.
Yeah, I liked it. I mean, I was nervous too. Like you said, he's never played with the third tier of a stadium, which adds to just dimensions in your vision, how you see things. He's got to play with absolutely horrible conditions for an outfielder. It's bright, no clouds. It's 20-mile-an-hour wind. Dude drops the first ball. He's probably all up in his head. Yeah. Tanner calms him down. Later, and then he ends up probably making the play of the game to save that game. Yep. Like, that was huge. That throw was one of the fastest throws, I think, this year. It was like 106 miles an hour or something on a dime, and it was a game of inches, man. It's insane how that worked out for us, and it saved a run and got the last out.
That was the play of the game. For me, that changed everything because they went up 2-1, and they had still the opportunity to hit Gabby. There was gonna be maybe more runs in there. So
for sure.
I went up in the booth. I do the radio, the Spanish radio, with Gustavo and Rafa, and I went up and say, "Thank you, God, thank you." I went crazy.
Yeah,
Gabby.
no, that was crazy. It was a crazy assist, and honestly, the drop in the outfield, yes, that was bad, but it couldn't get worse than that.
Yes.
So at least he got that out of the way already. But every single at bat that he put up was far more impressive than other options that you could have on this team right now. I'm just gonna say that.
But it was special. It was special, and I had to I give a lot of credit to Bibee. The way he came out in that first inning with 3 strikeouts in a row. He don't strike out the last 3 batters. He strike out the number 4, number 5, number 6 of that lineup. And you know what? I had to go like this because I thought that we were going to be losing at least 2-0 in the first inning, my friend.
You mean Tanner Bibee, as they keep saying on the broadcast?
Yeah.
That would drive me nuts. I don't know about you, Carlos, but if people just kept botching my name on national television, I'd have to go up there and be like, all right, it's Bibee, not Bibby, please.
Yeah. I know. It was
crazy.
I know.
That was crazy. But, guys, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to have a fun little interview for you guys.
Today's featured interview is brought to you by Smart Choice Windows. Smart Choice Windows is the place to go when you need to upgrade your home. They have great deals and great financing with 0% for 24 months and no down payment option with monthly payments as low as $199. So if you're ready for a quieter, more energy-efficient window, head over to smartchoiceWindows.com to schedule your free no-pressure estimate today.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Carlos Baerga Show on the Big Play Network, presented by FanDuel with me, Gab Gowdy, Cleveland Indians legend Carlos Baerga, and always positive Jay. Carlos, again, Mr. Popular. What do you have for us?
We have Chris Jimenez is going to be with us. And he's been doing all the games with the Cleveland Guardians. And I need to bring somebody that be watching the games, that being there. And he know that he's going to help us to, to realize, to say to everybody what's going on with this team that's being unbelievable. Chris, how you doing, my friend?
I'm doing good, man. Back home now. It's the off season for me, but not really because we still watch all the games. So I'm looking forward to it. And it's a big one today, man. Big game today. So everything's on the line. And I think the guys are going to show up today.
Me too. When you're watching the game yesterday, I'm watching, what's been going on. When you see Slaughter playing center field right away? What went through your mind, especially when you watching, the day before,
Yeah.
everybody from our team, they were going crazy. The sun, the ballpark. You played there before. How hard it is to play at that time?
Yeah, at 1 o'clock, the sun
Yeah.
is directly behind home plate. Like there was not a cloud in the sky. It was a perfect day in Cleveland yesterday, which nobody's complaining about. But I love it that they threw him in the fire because, I mean, holy cow. Like my wife even asked me yesterday when, I'm talking about he's making his debut and he's hitting seventh and all this stuff, right? And she's like, could you imagine if you would have made your debut? I was nervous. I was the most nervous I've ever been in my entire life. Like, could you imagine if you would have made your debut in the playoffs in a winner take all game? Like, no, I couldn't, first of all. So, like, I'm glad they kind of threw him into the fire. And you know what? It's funny. Like, this, the ball always finds you
Yes.
somehow, some way. And the first batter of the game, like, are you kidding me? And then the fact that Bibee makes him, basically like that was one of his moments as a Cleveland Guardian, getting out of that first inning and continuing to battle the way he did. Like that was epic. The whole way this yesterday went down was unbelievable. And I think now if you look at it, there's about as pressure-free environment for DeLauder as you could possibly imagine. Now, he's been through the gauntlet at this point already. And then, oh yeah, by the way, against Casey Mize, he works a pretty badass walk out of the deal, like saw 8 or 9 pitches. Like he did a great job yesterday considering everything that was on his plate. And also the fact that he was probably in Arizona 2 days before that. Now all of a sudden he's in a, if you don't win, you guys go home game in Cleveland. It's pretty epic to see what he did yesterday.
Yeah, they said that Chase DeLauder was back home with his family and he packed everything
Oh.
up just to show up. He's like,
Even
yeah,
better.
Right.
Wow.
That is unbelievable. Like you always hear stories like that too, that guys are
Yeah.
like, all right, they're home for the off season. It's the off season now. I'm going to go watch these games. And then you get a phone call and it's like, holy cow, now I have to ramp it back up. It's crazy.
How impressed were you guys with the fact that he bounced back immediately from that?
I mean,
those at-bats were incredible.
They were, honestly, yes. And I think it just goes to show, number one, his character, but the dude's a cool cucumber. Like I heard Vody say it. He was like he wasn't too big for the moment at any point in time. Like he walked into the clubhouse, he commanded a presence in a positive way, not a way where you're like, oh, this guy's head's too big. Like, no, this kid is calm, collected. Like he knows he deserves to be there. And the sad thing is, we all know this. He would have been here probably last year already if he hadn't been hurt a couple of different times, So I think knowing that too, going into it, knowing that you truly do belong here goes a long way for him. But the kid's a gamer, and I can't wait to watch this kid get a full season to see what he can do.
Chris, would you say it's safe to say that Tanner Bibee's back to full form and
1,000%.
the Tanner Bibee we thought he was? And what do you think? What helped him get back there?
You know what? I think Gavin and Tanner pushed themselves against each other in a very, very good, healthy, like rivalry.
Yes.
And I could not think of a better pitcher I would rather have on the mound than Tanner Bibee in a do or die game situation. Like, he's going to go out there. He's not going to let the moment get too big for him. And he absolutely shined yesterday, if you ask me. Like, to have the first player of the game, a leadoff double essentially, and then you're sitting there with runners at first and second in the heart of their lineup with nobody out, and he went down. You can see the emotion coming off the mound after he punched out, the third out of the inning. Like, he was there for that game. He was ready for that game. And I think, truthfully, one of the biggest things was him. Like, we talked about this with Gavin all year. It was strike one, because when Gavin gets strike one, he's almost unhittable, and the numbers back that up. But Tanner was the same way, truthfully. And I think there was probably like a month to a month and a half time period in the middle of the season where he almost looked lost. And I think it was the best thing for him. We forget sometimes that Tanner and Gavin were brought to the big leagues really quick, had a little bit of success early on, and have never really had to like deal with that struggle side of things. Gavin had, because he's been hurt, and last year was a little up and down. Tanner did a great job last year, but this was the first year he's really like had some adversity. And for him to come out of this on the other side of it looking like aces, I mean, that's only going to be incredible for him going forward. And now we have like a legit 1-2 punch, 1A and 1A plus, I guess you could say, with Gavin and Tanner to lead the rotation.
Something he did yesterday that beyond even just the amazing pitching job he did, I noticed is after DeLauder made that error, right after he went into the dugout, he came up to him and he said, "Don't worry about it. Yeah. You're going to get my back. I still got your back. Don't worry about it. Let's just go. It's not a big deal. Nothing happened." And that just speaks levels of leadership to me.
No doubt. No doubt about it. And again, it helps when you get yourself out of the situation, for sure. But I think for Tanner to understand the severity of the situation too and what's going on, he knows, he's been there. Yeah. What's going on in DeLauder's mind right there, like, holy crap, I'm in the big leagues. I can't see the ball. Holy crap, it's hit to me. Holy crap, I dropped it. Like, there's a lot of holy craps that just went along in DeLauder's mind, and they probably weren't holy craps. There were some other words that we probably can't say right now. But for Tanner to do that, I think it shows immense levels of maturity and also that he was ready for the moment.
I have to say that we have to give credit, and the people around the world on baseball, they need to know our pitching staff is in another level. We finished second in the league the year in ERA. May, from July, we was second again, and in September we was first in ERA. Our bullpen second in ERA. So our bullpen is going to another level. Right now, in these first 2 games, our bullpen haven't given up a run. That's amazing. 9 innings, really 5 hits, 0 runs, 9 strikeouts. So they being unbelievable. And the 2 runs to Gabby, it was unearned. So to Gavin Williams, the first game. So it's being unbelievable the way our pitching staff is pitching. They keep us in the game. K. Smith did the job yesterday. And but Bibee yesterday, I think the game changed. That throw, the Slaughter throw to third base, touch it. I think that was the game changer right there. Because if that runs, he was safe in third base. And the run scorer, they still have 1 out. And they're still hitting in there.
And first and third, or at second, third at that point. You're exactly right. Yeah. And it changes the complexity of the game. And again, for him to be a young player and to not, like, your first reaction is, oh my God, I got to throw the guy out at home. Like, I got to make a play right here. But he was able to kind of slow the game down in that situation, understood that he didn't have a chance to get the guy out at home. My only play is to make a good throw to third base. And the fact that our replay coordinator was on that, like they were immediately voting, was like, put the headphones on, let's go. I mean, there was a lot about that game that kind of flipped at that exact moment. And you hope that Tanner getting out of that inning, keeping the score tied at 1, giving your offense an ultimate opportunity to go back. It didn't happen until the 8th inning, but at some point this pitching staff has been, that's the backbone of our team. Everybody knows that, right? The offense has done just enough. And it's like, man, at like the best times, like this offense comes alive and you're like, holy crap, you just put a 5 spot off. This kid who is really, really good for Detroit, by the way, who just came in, started against us and made us look silly for 3.5 innings. And you guys find a way to put a 5 spot on. Why can't we do this all the time? Number one, because I think that's what everybody's thinking. But you have to understand that these guys have kind of that never quit attitude. And when it seems like the night is the darkest, that's kind of when we figured out, it's like, okay, guys, it's time to go now.
Also, I think it's a bit interesting if you guys have been noticing the way that people discuss, I know the Cleveland Guardians offense, it's very small ball, but the Detroit Tigers have also been doing the same this series.
Good call. Really good call. They've sack bunted. They only had 5 sack bunts the entire season. And we've seen them do it a couple of different times here already in the playoffs. The playoffs do weird things to teams, truthfully. They make you play your game at an ultimate level, number one, but the pressure cooker of the playoffs, like, it makes managers, do crazy things like pinch hit for your best hitter just to get the platoon advantage in the 5th inning. Like, if you talk to AJ Hinch, he probably would rather have a do-back on that, but it is what it is, right? You make guys sacrifice bunt, you do little small things to try to move runners over, and sometimes that's great. It works. But most of the time, from my experience, is like, you take a team that hasn't done a lot of that, and now you're asking them to do it. Number one, it's really hard to do all of a sudden, because trying to bunt is like the hardest thing on planet Earth to do. These guys are throwing 100 miles an hour and it cuts and sinks and moves and stuff. But now you're putting a player in a position that he's not been in to that point in the season. And oh yeah, by the way, it's in the playoffs now. So everything is micromanaged to the nth degree. But you're right, Gab. Like, they're playing a completely different game than what they've played. And if it wasn't for Javi Baez, we might have won this series already in 2 games.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, they haven't put the ball even like we have
Right.
like into the outfield at all. It's
Right.
just been small ball every single at bat. So when people talk about the Cleveland Guardians that way, I think we should also include the Tigers, how we're talking about right now.
I agree with you. It's not just us, guys. It's not just us.
Right. It's not just us.
Now that we are officially in the playoffs, I can confidently say this a lot more than I did before. Earlier in the season, I said I think the 10-game losing streak was going to actually help us in the long run. And now that, especially for the young players, they could look back and see, like, we overcame this as a team. And that just builds, I think, a confidence level that you believe in yourself, like, we can do anything. We've overcome everything. Like, what do you think about all that?
I absolutely think there's something to that, truthfully. You don't necessarily realize it when you're going through it because you try to keep, your feet where they are. And I know that's a weird way of saying it, but you're trying to stay in the moment and not think too far ahead and obviously not think too far behind at the same point. When you're going through stuff like that, like, you're so focused on what can I do to help the team to try to get out of a situation like this. But then after you've gone through it, you've come out of it on the other side, you win like 8 out of your next 10 games, which is really crazy to think that they could lose 10 and then go 8 out of 10 in wins. And you get to the playoffs and you start like thinking back on the season and you're like, wow, I didn't realize by thinking this way or by doing this certain thing that ultimately helped us get out of it, but it helps somebody else see that too, right? And it's being a good teammate. But when you go through hard times like that as a group, it really brings everybody closer together. And you don't realize like what that does until you're in the next pressure cooker type environment like the playoffs, where it's like, okay, guys, we can bear down. We've been in this situation before and we've come out of it on the other side. Like, we understand that there's light at the end of the tunnel where other teams may not necessarily know that because they haven't struggled to that extent,
Grace, give us 5 more minutes because we need to talk about Rocchio. What Rocchio's been doing is
You mean playoff
amazing.
Rocchio?
Playoff Rocchio. Last year and this year, I'm gonna let everybody know the numbers. So don't go. Go ahead, Gabby.
Oh, I was going to just ask you guys, do you know about Roctober? Do you know that term?
I know.
Oh, you're locked in on it. Okay.
Oh yeah. Oh, for sure. I mean,
were you guys surprised for that home run at all?
Yes and no. I feel like I'm surprised because of the fact that he's done such a good job this year of not trying to hit home runs. The second half of his season, the first half of his season, I think that may have played into some of his struggles, truthfully.
Right,
was
because
he went up there.
doesn't want to hit a home run.
No, exactly. You're exactly right. And I think especially what we saw out of him last October, which is where the name really kind of cemented itself to begin with, and then him having an incredible spring training, getting off to the slow start he did this season, being sent down, like, people don't understand what that does to a young player mentally. Getting sent down when you've spent an entire season in the big leagues, had an incredible playoff round, like where you were one of the main offensive pieces to our offense clicking last year, and then finding yourself in AAA, like, that mentally does a lot to a player in a negative light, right? But he took that in stride. He went down there. I say this all the time, and I think I joked about it the last time I was on. Like, he needs to be the poster boy for like player development. Like, they did such a good job, and it's to his credit, right, that he went down and took it in stride and did what he needed to do. Now I think he understands how to slow the game down. And you also got to understand, home runs for most players are mistakes. And for Rocchio, I think that's true. Like, it's a good mistake, right? A beautiful mistake that he was able to click a ball the way he wants to. And it was done without having, like, actually trying to do it. I think when you start to find yourself going into slumps, you're like trying to hit home runs because now your barrel gets manipulated and you lose your barrel and you get lag back in the bottom part of the zone. And you can't get that crisp, clean barrel through the zone. Whereas right now, he's got his confidence high. He knows he's using his hands, and he's not trying to hit home runs. He's trying to make solid contact. And the next thing you know, he's hitting balls off the freaking foul pole. He's hitting balls 30 rows into the right field bleachers in a 8th inning of the game where it was like, that's the game-winning run. I mean, he's really taken it to the next level. And playoff Rocchio, Roctober, like whatever you want to call it. I'm so excited to see this young man's like growth this year because we got a star in the making, truthfully.
Yes. Don't go, Chris. We're gonna go a couple minutes and we come back here on the Carlos Baerga Show.
This segment was also brought to you by Smart Choice Baths. If your bathroom needs an update, the team at Smart Choice Baths has you covered. Whether you're looking to replace your shower or do a whole bathroom remodel, Smart Choice can offer the quality and expertise you will need to make that experience an enjoyable one. Be sure to check them out at smartchoicebaths.com or give them a call at 1-844-GET-SMART to set up your free estimate.
Welcome back to the Carlos Baerga Show with me, Gab Gowdy, Cleveland Indians legend Carlos Baerga, always positive, Jay and Chris Jimenez. Now, guys, before we left, we were talking about Brayan Rocchio, and I think we need to continue talking about Roctober because that is my favorite time of the year.
We need to talk about him because he's been huge. You know, he finished the season, the regular season, with that homer. You know, that give us the opportunity to, or us to, you know, to finish first. But in the playoff, 12 career postseason game, 308, 2 homers, 3 RBI, 5 walks, 3 doubles. He's been amazing in there. Chris, this guy went down, like you said before, and he worked hard to be where he are right now. You know, do you see him to be become a superstar?
Yeah, you know, like I don't know if, and I don't mean this in like a negative light, I don't know if he's going to be a superstar, but I think he's going to be an incredibly good player. Now, I guess I should have described like what I think a superstar is. I think a superstar is somebody that can hit
Carlos Baerga.
Perennial, yeah, exactly, 30 to 35 homers, you know, hitting 300 every year, driving in 100 RBIs. You know, like, do I think he can do that? Maybe. He actually probably could if he really, you know, tried. But I don't know if that's like what's best for his game. Like if he can hit 300, I don't see that being an issue. But if he's a 10 to 15 home run guy, like I think that's your superstar. So maybe it's not necessarily like it could be a superstar in his own right. You know what I mean? And not necessarily what like we in the media think a superstar is, because I think this kid has a chance to be really good. We know what he can do with the glove.
Yes.
And now he's really starting to show what he can do with the bat too. And he's not afraid to lay a bunt down. He understands the situation of the game. And the cool thing is, you watch every post-game press conference with Brayan Rocchio.
Yes.
He's so in tune with the questions.
Yes.
He's understanding and learning from every single thing that happens to him in a game. And I think that's what's going to make him be his own version of a superstar.
Thank you to say that because we have Rocchio here. He talked yesterday with the press. Let's listen up.
Get it thrown around. What makes you rise up in the big moment?
El término de Rocchio de se sigue usando. ¿Qué es lo que te hace subirte en las situaciones así?
De verdad que, como lo he dicho en muchas entrevistas, trato de no pensar en eso, trato de mantenerme lo más simple posible y competir. Estos son momentos de competir y tener la mente en cero.
Like I said in a couple of interviews, I don't think about it. I just try to keep my mind focused on competing because this is competing time. There's no self-awareness here, just being competitive as much as you can.
In that eighth inning, what did you guys see just give you that in to kind of open up the floor?
¿Qué fue lo que diferente en ese inning que pueden hacer tantas carreras que vieron diferente con el pitcher?
Bien, no, o sea, es un pitcher que ya yo había conocido, me lo enfrenté en AAA. José me había hablado mucho del pitcher. Entonces traté de ser lo más simple porque es un tipo que lanza 100. Y tú sabes cuando son 100 a esta presión del momento que baja las revoluciones, y traté de ponerme lo más simple posible y gracias a Dios se lo bateó.
I've been lucky to face him a couple of times, even in AAA, and always in these situations, a guy's throwing 100, you have to tone it down a little bit and keep it a little simple. And I was talking to Jose, and his recommendation was just look for that fastball, and that's what I was trying to do.
Hey, Brian, how hard was that wind blowing in to drive the ball through that?
De verdad que, ¿sabes? Yo desde que comenzó el juego yo dije, hoy tengo que dar rolling porque yo sé que si lo voy para arriba no va a ser un out automático que me pasó en el primer turno. Y era lo que estaba pensando en todo el juego. Tratar de dar rolling porque cada vez que pienso en rolling me salen las líneas.
Funny enough, when the game started, I was thinking with this win we have to put the ball in the ground, trying to get ground balls, and somehow I felt that's normally when I get that mindset to get the ball in the ground is when I get better results.
Ryan, you guys were in an elimination setting today. As the game goes on and you're not getting any hits, I think you had 2 hits through the 7th inning. Are you getting more worried and worried? Are you getting a little more worried that, you know, this is it? This could be the last game of the season?
¿sabes? Un juego que es de muerte, vida o muerte, pero ya llegando al séptimo inning solamente dos hits, se siente esa presión un poco de quizás este es el último juego que van a jugar.
Como siempre lo he dicho, nosotros somos un equipo que no sentimos presión, nosotros somos un equipo que competimos hasta el último out, ¿entiendes? Nosotros somos un equipo que guerreamos, podemos estar perdiendo 10-0 y nosotros no nos vamos a rendir hasta que sea el último out y vamos a competir hasta el último momento que tengamos.
Like we always say, we try to always play without pressure. That's our type of ball. We just play and we realize we're going to play until the last out. Even if we're down by 10, we know that we're going to continue always trying to play our type of ball.
You just said, Jimenez, the way he talked in the press, he looked different. And I like what I see from our kids, that they getting prepared, for something big. I think this happened, Chris, when he went to Venezuela to play. They win the championship there. Playing winner ball, you have to be ready. They play to win over there. You don't play to development. You play
exactly.
to win. And I think that helped him a lot. So that's why we see him the way he's playing right now. But we have Valera. We have even Kefus the day before. So it's been unbelievable. When I say this to you guys are going to go crazy. Our organization right now, when I say, read this, you know what? Jos Mansardo and Arias as the only two players in a lineup yesterday that don't come from organization. Juan was drafted in 2018. Valera 2017. Ramirez signed as a free agent 2011. Naylor draft in 2018. De Laure draft 2022. Keifu draft 2023. Rocchio 2017 signed as a free agent. And Bibee 2021. Our organization and develop our players. How happy you are that this is going on right now. We are organization.
Yeah. Player development, man. That's how we have to survive in the climate that is baseball right now. We all know this. We can't go out and buy the top end free agents. That's just not how it works, right? And I'm not saying that I'm sure the Dolans would like to go out and be able to do this, right? But fiscally, financially, that's not how the business model works. Like what we're the best in baseball at is developing, not only pitching, like we're starting to get some hitters coming out of this development group too. That's, worthwhile. And our scouting department deserves a ton of credit. Our player development department deserves a ton of credit. And then obviously once they get here to the big leagues, like they're ready to play. Like the moment's not too big for these kids. And I think that comes from preparing yourself down at the lower levels of the minor leagues.
Go ahead, Gabby.
Even if you want to continue that a little more, even Manzardo and Arias, they both took time to develop within the Cleveland Guardians organization, because we're not out here adding free agents besides like Carlos Santana, who's not even with the team right now. He's with the Cubs.
Right. Yeah, that's a great point. I mean, they were brought over here young enough that they could still be affected by player development. Gabby in particular, he was brought over here as a really young player. So was Kyle, really, but I mean, he was at the upper level of the minor leagues. And when guys do get traded over like that, they generally, as an organization, you can't really say much to them for a month or so. Like you got to see these kids play a little bit, and then you can get your fingers on them and kind of go to work from there. But our player development system deserves like the utmost credit because these kids are ready to play.
Carlos, you've talked about this earlier in the season, how you got to watch the games. Yes. I mean, the stats are important and all that, but you got to watch the games. And if you listen to that interview, he pointed out how Jose Ramirez told him he's going to throw you a fastball inside because he's seen it before. And he remembers that dude is more of a student of the game than anyone on that. Like, what does it mean? Like, you have that guy in your dugout. Not only is he doing what he does at the plate, on the field, stealing bases, running bases, but now he's the true leader that any team would ever want. And I mean, he just means the world to this team, and just pointing stuff out like that to young players. He called it. He's like, watch, he's going to hit a home run. Andre Knott said it during the broadcast, and I'm like, boom, it's gone. I'm like, of course, it's Jose.
Well, the thing is, you need those kind of players. That's why Hedges and Ramirez, they're very huge in our organization. You need people like that in the bench because the guys, they're going to get afraid a little bit. It's going to happen, yes or no, Chris? It's gonna happen.
Absolutely.
They're gonna go like, oh my God, now this guy is coming to pitch. And you need somebody to say, hey, we did it before. He's gonna throw you a fastball. Get ready for that pitch and let's go. Let's do it. So those are things that is gonna happen. Yesterday I went to the dugout and Jose Ramirez said to me, yes, we win the game, but we keep leaving the guys on base. We need to put the ball in play. they don't pitch into Jose. Yesterday he got 3 walks.
Yeah.
The day before
Yeah.
he got 2 walks. So we need to, to step up and do it. And something, Chris, that I don't understand. We beat Scubal bunting, and we don't bunt.
Oh, God.
Again, we don't bunt in the first game. We bunt in the first game with 2 outs. When Rocchio tried to bunt with 2 outs. Let's go. We need to do something different.
I told Carlos he could tell Vogt, I will wash his car for an entire year if there's someone on third base with no outs and he puts the bunt signal out. I will wash your car I'll wash it for the rest of your life if you want. Just please bunt when there's no outs and someone on third. I know you don't like doing it, but I would appreciate it a lot.
Yeah, but honestly, that's what this team has done all year too. I actually was really surprised that Game 1, when Hosey finds himself on third base, that we didn't, do a safety squeeze.
Yes.
I mean, obviously Detroit was expecting it because they had, the first and third baseman like literally in the batter's mouth, pretty much.
It's
And
such an
maybe that's the
exciting
reason
play,
they didn't
too.
do it. But
yeah,
it really is a really exciting play, I think.
It's gonna happen.
Yeah.
It's gonna happen. Chris, thank you to be with us. I know that you're a busy man with the kids. He's not here.
Yeah, this ain't the off season for you. This is the real season now.
This is my season.
And I have to say, congratulations. You did a great job on TV for the Tribe, and I hope they bring you back and do a postseason with us here too. Okay, brother?
Let's hope so. Yeah, thank you guys very much. Thanks for having me on.
Thank you.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks, Chris. And we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we'll talk about some more Cleveland Guardians headlines.
The Big Play Sports Network is brought to you by Lake Spur Marketing, connecting your brand to the right customers. Visit lakespurmarketing.com today.
Welcome back to the Carlos Baerga Show with me, Gab Gowdy, Cleveland Indians legend Carlos Baerga, and always positive Jay. Now, guys, we have to talk about Tanner Bibee some more. We talked about him a little bit, but I don't think we gave him enough credit for the outing that he had.
I say you need somebody in there. They have the opportunity. That's why they pay him. That's why they give him the contract that they give him. He was 3-0. He started the season very slow. I don't think this season was the season on him. But he win the last 3 outings in September. 3-0, 1-something ERA. So he stepped up. The way he was playing to another level, and I like that. It's not how you start; it's how you finish. I always say that, and he gave us the opportunity yesterday. 4 and 2/3, 5 hits, 1 run, 6 strikeout, and the strikeout came with men on third base. Most of them, so it was a special, bro.
I totally agree with you. It matters how you end than how you start. Like so many stats are misleading, especially in baseball. It's so long. You look at our run differential, we're like -6. But if you look at a run differential from like September on, it's like +50 something.
We are the only team in the playoff. We are with negative run differential. This is amazing.
But the second half, I don't think we are, which is more important. And
yes.
Tanner, he changed what he did, and I actually think he was rushed a little too much to become be the ace, as they say, of a team. Like, he was so young, and then we got when Bibee went down, and then he signed that big contract.
Yes.
And he's such a competitor. Obviously, it's showing now. I think he was trying a little too hard to live up to the contract and be the ace of the team, and it was a lot on a young. He's still so young, but it showed that he's a fighter, and he got through it all, and now he's more confident pitching than ever, probably.
He's amazing. He's amazing. But let's listen up what he say after the game.
After the first inning where Chase had that drop in center field, you kind of had a conversation with him in the dugout. Can you just elaborate on what you said to him? And was it more to the kind of vibe of, I got your back too?
Yeah, it's one of those things where it just doesn't matter. I mean, I think, they put him out there in center field, and it was battling the sun and the wind. I mean, it's not an easy play. And he dropped it, but it just doesn't matter, because I feel like even if that run did score, it wouldn't have mattered, because it's a hard play, and one of those things where I'm gonna have your back, and eventually you're gonna get my back as well. And literally it came a little earlier than expected, but about 3 innings later, and then that play kind of obviously kept us in the game and allowed our offense in the 8th inning to kind of do what they do.
Tanner, you talked yesterday about it's another game. And so just how did you take that mentality into that when runs are so hard to come by for both teams?
Yeah, I feel like, you go about it, like I said yesterday, it's like the third start in a row I face these guys, so obviously it's kind of like that chess game. and in the regular season, you pitch against these guys the same way or differently depending on the situation, and that's kind of what it was.
Go to Tim. What's your guys' mentality now going into this winner go home game tomorrow? After, especially, I mean, you guys have been on an incredible ride now and gone through ups and downs. Like, how do you compartmentalize what you've been through for tomorrow?
I think it's important to just understand that, we're here for a reason. We're here because we trust the guys that are in that clubhouse, at our sides, that's out in the field, in whatever position we're at. And we know that, we have all the tools to be able to go far in this game. With all that being said as well, I think it's just understanding that, this is something to be grateful for and to not kind of let us, not let take over our minds in a way. This is something that we should be going out there having fun, just continue to play our game, and take advantage of every opportunity that's in front of us. I think that's what we do when we're at our best.
Well, there's a lot made about how difficult it can be to see late in the afternoon. The shadows get long. You've got a cloudless day. Does it help you as a catcher when you're literally watching every pitch that Tanner or anybody else is throwing? Does it help you pick that up as a hitter better?
No, no, it does not. Yeah, it's definitely difficult, and it's two different viewpoints. But you should make do with what you got.
I like the combination, and I say before, I love when H's catch, but you know what, Naylor is going to another level. And I'm learning. I talked to Sandy Alomar yesterday, and he said that he loved what Naylor's been doing, and H's. They get together, and they prepare everything. They get together with the coaches and stuff like that, and they talk about it. We should go like this, like this, like this, and they decide. And it's very important. I just saw a thing in there that I really like. Every time the Bibee pitch against Detroit, he's been winning 8 in a row. He win 3 games, but the games before, our team wins. So our team believe in him. That's why he's a leader. That's why he gives us the opportunity to become and come back in a game as that. And you need a leader like that in your pitching staff.
Oh, totally. I totally appreciate the leadership he's put on this year. And you're right about Bo Naylor. He's definitely, I think, turned it around. I think we're seeing the emergence of his hitting ability, because I think he's always been a pretty good catcher. He throws people out pretty well at second, but his hitting was a little like long, they said, and he widened his stance or something, and he's just taken off. And I know Gab is always the biggest fan of Bo Naylor.
Well, Gab is a big favorite of everybody. Gavin Williams, Jose
Gavin,
Ramirez.
Bo.
Hey, Guardians need defenders too.
Yeah. She have a jersey, Jose Ramirez. I saw it the other day.
Yeah, I do. I do have a Jose jersey. I need to get some more. That's the only one I have. But also, I saw a very impressive stat for our Cleveland Guardians catchers. They have the second least amount of pass balls. The only team that has less, Seattle Mariners.
Wow, that is
MVP.
amazing.
The platinum glove there.
And I have to say something to everybody here. Our team is being unbelievable. We've been playing 83 games this year with 2 or less runs, to win or lose the game. We are number 3 in Major League Baseball. So we are 50 and 23, 50 and 33. That's amazing. When you keep, yourself in the game, you still have the opportunity, and that's very special. I think this year is being unbelievable. That's why we're gonna keep going. I see our team coming up today and win this big game today. It's gonna be special.
What do you think about the crowd so far? Because I hear them on the TV. When I was there, they're unreal loud. They might be the loudest
Yesterday, I tried to record Gustavo after a homer. And I can't even listen. He was next to me. So it was so loud. It's being special. I had this feeling when I played here in 1995. And you know what? It's more special. And I think moving the game from 1 to 3, I think a lot of people going to cut the work. And they're going to go to the ballpark today.
Carlos, if a team is down,
I think we'll get better attendance today.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
If a team is down, how much can the crowd actually lift you up a lot?
Big. It's big. We are blessed that we play here. playing Detroit, you know, it's going to be hard because they play a lot of day games over there. We don't play that a lot of day games here, but they play a lot of day games, and the people go to the games over there. So it's special, you know, to be here. It's special that we are going to be having the opportunity to play against the Detroit Tigers, you know, to go and beat them today. It's going to be Slade Cecconi against Jack Flaherty. And we need to talk about, you know, this matchup right now. It's going to be Flaherty against us in his career, 2.15, 2.51 ERA in 10 games, but this year, 0-3, 3.94. So we need to take advantage of that. He pitched in the last 3 days of the season against us, and we beat him. So we need to step up and do it again, Gabby.
Yeah, I agree. I think that we could get to Jack Flaherty early, but we are going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to talk about that matchup.
The Big Play Sports Network is brought to you by Garage Beer. No bitterness, no frills, no IPA, just beer-flavored beer. Find local retailers who sell garage beer near you by visiting drinkgaragebeer.com.
Welcome back to the Carlos Baerga Show with me, Gab Gowdy, Cleveland Indians legend Carlos Baerga, and always positive Jay. Now, before we took a break, we were talking about Slade Cecconi against Jack Flaherty going in Game 3 of the wild card.
Yes, let's finish it up with Jack Flaherty. You know, the last 3 times he pitched this year against us, 0-3, 3.94 ERA. So we beat him in the last few days of the season. You know, and we need to keep putting pressure on him. I know he got the experience. He played with the Dodgers last year. He's been here before in the playoffs. So, but I think he's playing really good. We're going to have Slade Cecconi. Now I know why he's pitching today. 1-1 this year, 2.25 against Detroit Tigers. In May, he pitched 6 innings, 5 hits, 1 run, 6 strikeouts against them. So I think we have a great opportunity. And in September, he pitched really good. So it's going to be important.
How important do you think it is to get off to a quick start against Flaherty today?
Very important. Very important because he's a guy that, you know, he can keep going. He's a veteran pitcher.
If you're Quan, would you lead off with the bunt?
Well, I hope so. I want him to do that yesterday, even to Quan, because we need Quan to get going. Quan is 1 for 22. Or 2 for 22 in the last 7 games. Coming from the regular season, we need him to don't hit no more fly ball, please. Hit the ball in the ground.
He had a big double yesterday. Maybe that'll get him going.
I know. But we need him to get on base, you know, for Jose Ramirez, that we're going to be talking something. I know you have something for him, but it's going to be special. What do you think is going to happen, Gabby?
I think Slade Cecconi is going to go 5 innings, no earned runs. Jose Ramirez, maybe a couple RBIs, and maybe something from Kyle Manzardo as well.
We need him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he almost had a home run yesterday, but that wind was not.
He said the wind was unbelievable. He said he hit that ball hard.
He's gonna channel the power of the stash today, and it's on. I'm gonna tell you right now.
Wow, it's gonna be special. Cecconi, you know, he's being unbelievable. And the experience. I don't know that Cecconi pitched against Philadelphia with Arizona. He pitched 2 innings, scoring innings, he didn't score. So he's been in the playoff. You know, I think he got the experience in there. So I think he's going to have the best game of his career. I just want 5 innings for him. 5 innings, and let's go to the bullpen. That's it.
So we got the other games today. We got another elimination game with Boston and New York, which is obviously going to deal with us. Who would you guys rather see and rather face? Because me, I'm frankly sick of the New York Yankees. I don't want to look at them anymore. If I could avoid Carlos Stanton, that would be great. Carlos, I know you want to play the best of the best. I've had enough of the Yankees. Maybe next year we can beat them, but not this year. I'm good.
What do you think, Gabby, for you?
No, if it's the Yankees, it's the Yankees. I don't care who they're going to play. I think the pitching staff is in a place right now that they could go up against any lineup that you put out there. It's just the bats that I would be worried about.
But I have to say, I won the Yankees. And I think, let me tell you what happened. I think yesterday the Boston used the bullpen a lot. So I think it's going to be hard this year, today. And the thing is, they lost Giolito. Giolito is hurt. He's not going to pitch no more in the playoffs. So I think that's going to help them, you know, a lot in there. And I think we're going to play against the Yankees to go to the World Series. That's what I think. Because if we win today,
it's probably the only way we're supposed to go to the World Series, honestly.
We're going to play Seattle. I know we got our hands full, but we can do it. Our pitching staff is being rolling, is being special. The Dodgers, they already clinched in the National League. The San Diego beat the Cubs, so they are 1-1. Somebody gonna be.
My dream of the All-Ohio World Series was busted. I was kind of sad about that, to be honest.
Yes,
Were we surprised though? No, I don't
No.
think any of us were
I
really
am
that
not surprised.
surprised.
I am not
Also,
surprised.
APJ, you said you have some stat for us. What's the stat?
Yeah.
So most seasons with 20-plus home runs, 20-plus stolen bases, and 100 or fewer strikeouts in MLB season is number 1, Barry Bonds with 10, number 2, Jose with 7, tied at 3rd, Hank Aaron and Willie Mays. Like, that is some company to be in. Like, that's Hall of Fame company right there.
Send me that because I'm going to put it today in the radio. But you know what? Let me tell you something. I have a dream last night that we win the game and Jose Ramirez hit a homer. And he was doing an interview, and they asking, what kind of pitch was that? Home run pitch. And I think we're going to listen to that after the game today, and the fans, they're going to go crazy. And you know what? And Gabby's going to be jumping in London over there. Like
Gabby's going to be in London. Jose.
Yep, that'll be me by myself, just saying it so everyone can hear about Jose Ramirez.
It's going to be special, man. What an honor to have you guys here with us. Chris Jimenez was with us at the beginning. You know what? We're going to have another show next week, and we're going to be with you.
Of course.
Yeah, Carlos Baerga Show.
Yeah, of course.
Yes.
Yeah, it'll be fun. Go Guards, and we'll see you guys next week.